Hi, everyone. I'm James Garbutt.
And I'm Denny Dumas.
And this is the Garbutt Dumas Real Estate Podcast.
Brentwood,
Burnaby.
It's a, massively growing neighborhood. We both have lots of experience in showing resale and new construction pre-sale stuff in Brentwood over the last few months, and just kind of wanted to share what is going on, all that is happening, how this neighborhood is changing. Resale is a little bit slower, and we're talking specifically about the condo market in Brentwood. Resale is a little bit slower. There's quite a bit of inventory. Prices haven't really come down a lot in the last couple of years, but there's lots of inventory, and it's definitely taking longer to sell a condo in Burnaby, in Brentwood. There's lots of new construction projects, and we're going to kind of chat about a few of the options out there and how, the opportunity is in resale versus pre-sale. So maybe, Jamie, start out with your experience. I know you've shown a bunch of the resale condos recently. What do you get? What does that market look like right now?
Well, before I get into it, let's just kind of talk about our history with Brentwood, because you live there right now, so you know it well. My first condo that I bought was at Tandem at 4178 Dawson Street in Brentwood, and that was, in 2000-ish, 2001? Or no, it would have been 2006. So I used to live in Brentwood many moons ago, and recently, the reason why we thought we'd do a podcast on Brentwood is because at this moment, Denny and myself are quite in tune with the condo options available in Brentwood. I've been showing them to a client, Denny's been showing them as well, and personal interest. So specifically, I've been all over the amazing Brentwood towers, the three enormous tall towers. On the weekend, I showed a 49th floor place, a 55th floor place, and a 60th floor place. And these places are stunning, beautiful, finished very well. They're built in 2019 and 2020, and they have everything you would want in a condo except for air conditioning. So I wonder, this is kind of one of the things to think about is when you look at pre-sale versus resale, I think air conditioning is a legitimate criteria that could come into play. And it's more important if you face west or south. And mind you, I haven't lived in a condo and faced northeast, but I imagine it's less important then.
I've lived in a north-facing condo as my first place, and the place I live in now is southwest, and it is drastically different.
You're in a solarium now.
It's warm. For 2 months a year, it is really, really warm.
Yeah. So, at the end of the day, I was impressed with the options at Amazing Brentwood, and I thought the value was there in a sense that it hasn't really gotten more expensive in the last 2 years, I feel. And I feel like the next tower that pops up would not be able to sell at the prices that are available in resale. I feel like the new construction lift is a little bit higher when you see what's actually been selling. So And to be specific there, I think we're talking in the ballpark of these 50th floor units with a nice view, nice 2-bedroom floor plan. They're coming in just under $1,000 a foot, high nines. And the range probably being for the Amazing Brentwood, I would want to say maybe on the low nines if you're lower down and facing Lougheed or the SkyTrain, to maybe $1,050 a foot or above for certain penthouses. Love the finishing, love the style of the building. Didn't see the amenities. I think they're closed off, but the lack of air conditioning was the only thing that stuck to me as a thing. And I'm saying that because I think was it Solo District that has the air conditioning and misses a few other things.
A lot of what the new construction stuff is doing now, the pre-sale stuff, is including heat and air conditioning in your maintenance fee. So what is that? A couple $100 a month that you're saving. So do you take that into consideration as a buyer?
What is that, $100 a month maybe? I think it would be maybe worth taking into... I think the air conditioning aspect of it is absolutely worth taking into consideration, because if you don't have it, you don't have vents to put it in.
Yeah.
So meaning that these geothermal heating, cooling systems that are, I think they're geothermal, maybe not, but these heating, cooling systems that are included in strata fees. Like, is it Solo that has that? Or what's the one that...
The two new developments have it that I've looked at heavily, Akimbo and Gilmore Place.
Akimbo, Gilmore Place, pre-sale condos, not built yet, available to buy today. And they have it included. Yeah. I mean, we should also mention the price points of these places. Mm-hmm. They're not necessarily cheap. Do you want to give some examples of that? Yeah,
Gilmore Place is a pretty cool new development built by Ani, or being built by Ani. They have kind of taken the stance in the last few years, it seems, that they want to be the developer known with the best amenities. So they've got a pretty crazy amenity center, to be totally honest. It feels like a 5-star resort. Indoor pool, indoor hot tub, outdoor hot tub, huge courtyard area with barbecues. They've got a bowling alley. They've got a golf simulator. Yeah. They've got multiple party rooms with like pool tables. They've got a lounge area on the 36th floor with a crazy view. It's pretty wild. And I haven't seen anything like that in Greater Vancouver. They currently have 3 buildings that are part of phase 1 of this development of 10 towers.
10 towers right by Gilmore SkyTrain.
Right by Gilmore SkyTrain. Yeah. The second tower, which they're selling now, second and third, the second tower is on a big podium that has a ton of commercial space underneath. So they're planning to have like a big chain grocery store down there, cafes, a couple of restaurants, and then like some small businesses. It'll feel maybe like a small version of Amazing Brentwood. Amazing Brentwood's pretty spectacular too, but price points. It's a great corner in the fact that nothing is going to be built in front of you for a very long time. There's a big hydro plant right across the street that is not going anywhere, that I think they just did a huge reno to a few years back. The views are going to be pretty spectacular. The main corner is very expensive. So that main northwest corner that's looking at the North Shore Mountains, looking at the water and at downtown, that's very expensive. That in the higher end of the building, it's upwards of like $1,300 to $1,400 a foot, which is really expensive. But there are some pretty good deals on the southwest corner. There's a great floor plan that is, say, just over $1,000 a foot, $1,050 a foot. So that's not much higher than resale. And with that, you're waiting 4 years. You're putting deposits down. Developers right now are offering a lot of incentives. The market's a little bit slower than it had been for pre-sales 2-3 years ago. And so deposits now for that place, they started out at 25% a year ago when they started selling. Now they're down to 15%. They're offering incentives off the price. They're offering 3% off the price right now, this specific Gilmore Place development. And for realtors out there, they're offering a big real estate commission.
That's what happens when the market slows for developments.
Totally. But I see those as really interesting investment opportunities that you're putting 15% down with 0 monthly costs for 3.5-4 years. And you're paying roughly $50 a square foot more than resale today.
Roughly $50 plus maybe a GST.
Plus GST, yeah.
GST buffer. So just to kind of cap that, you're talking about $1,050 a foot to $1,300, $1,400 on the very high end. Yeah. And those high ends were similar figures to what Concord Brentwood had when I had a client buy there and was looking at the options. And probably the equivalent to an existing 1-year-old building or some of the top ones like Amazing Brentwood or Solo, they're just not, maybe 10% cheaper. Would you say? Yeah. Would you say about 10% cheaper?
Yeah.
So if you bought existing, you're getting arguably a 10% discount. If you bought pre-sale, you don't pay a mortgage for 3 years or 4 years. And it's kind of placing a bet on the market in a way for the cost of 15% deposit right now. Yeah. So the interesting conversation that Denny and I have had lately is what's the right move? And the situation depends on the person. But for me, I couldn't get over the fact that I love the idea of putting a deposit down on a pre-sale. And I think there's many people that have made money off that in the past. And there's a good argument that the next 3-4 years ahead, I think are more likely to go up than down, for this pre-sale. But I kept on coming back to the thought that you have to be prepared to close on that pre-sale 3-4 years ahead. So even though you are only putting 15% down, if you don't want too much risk, you have to behave in a way where you're going to qualify for that mortgage, which is arguably similar to owning the property today. with the exception of being a landlord today.
Right.
So the perk of a presale from strictly an investment point of view is right now it's a little easier to buy. You're not waiting in line and you have better selection and developers are offering incentives. So I like that part of a 15% deposit on a 3-4 year bet that right now is maybe 10% above resale. And I think has a very good chance of, being worth more than 10% above what it is today, 3-4 years from now. So I think the question is, if you're considering resale versus new construction from an investor point of view, how much do you value not being a landlord for 3-4 years? And how do you feel about being in a position where you are arguably saying no to another opportunity with this presale if you want to make sure that you're qualifying for it when it purchases? And I think there's a time to do it. I mean, it to me, it always alleviates the risk in the bet if you're willing to move into the property, or if you really like it, or if you're just not concerned and you're going to be able to close. But if you're doing this, if you're stretching yourself and you want to buy a presale and you might want to leave your door open for a resale opportunity, you just have to be careful that you don't want to put yourself in a position where you can't close on that presale condo. Anything to add there, Denny?
Well, that was pretty good.
Okay. All right.
I mean, there's a lot of options. Like we just named 2 of them. We named Akimbo and Gilmore Place. Concord Brentwood, I believe, is coming out with Tower 3 soon.
They have amazing amenities too. Maybe not to Ani's level, but I can't remember every detail. But they had, air conditioning in the inside. They had heaters on the outside. They had, real high-end finishing. I can't remember all the details because it was like a year or 2 ago that we sold it. But they had, I remember it being massive amenity complex.
They had really cool indoor-outdoor space too. Right? They had,
it was like the doors that slide right open. Yeah.
So they're pretty cool. Yeah.
And then I think we should all highlight the what would you call them? The veterans of Brentwood, OMA, 1 Madison Avenue, Tandem, my old hood. Those are, what would they be? Probably about 800 a foot.
Yeah.
About 800 a foot. So a 2-bedroom in OMA. Remember the one that you almost offered on back in the day, Denny, that I was your agent on?
I did offer on.
You did offer on. You offered what, 4?
I think we offered 415. It was listed at 425 and they wouldn't go below 420.
This is what year? Do you remember what year that was?
2011.
2011. James Garbutt was Denny Dumas' agent. And we went in on an offer but now that same unit would be, what do you think, 750?
Yeah, low sevens maybe.
Yeah, low sevens. So
they're about 900 square feet.
And arguably they're great places to live. They just don't have air conditioning. They don't have the latest finishing, but they, if you want to be in Brentwood, Brentwood is a very central location. It is probably as central as it gets from commuting around. If you want options to go to the burbs and downtown, and there's stunning views all over Brentwood, like the views of rolling hills and mountains. Like there's not much obstructing those towers if you're facing the right direction. It's just, if you're facing inward towards the SkyTrain and not outward towards the rolling hills or mountains, it's a little bit of a disappointment. Yeah.
Cool place to live.
Good place to live, Brentwood. It's going to blow up. More towers to come. It is the market that I don't see getting short on supply anytime soon.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, that's it. Thanks for listening on our thoughts on Brentwood.